Her Excellency Mona Juul, President of ECOSOC, Mr. Liu Zemin, Under-Secretary General of DESA, Ms. Vera Songwe, Executive Secretary, Economic Commission for Africa, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Madam President, on behalf of Government of India and National Institution for Transforming India, I express my solidarity with all the countries fighting the pandemic and addressing the social and economic crisis induced by it in one way or another. These are truly unprecedented times, extremely challenging times. Every action we take will influence the world we envisioned when we joined hands 5 years ago for realizing the 2030 agenda. Collective action through international cooperation is more relevant and important than ever before. In this context, I would like to congratulate UN DESA for making available the SDG Acceleration Actions repository, which is an excellent platform for knowledge sharing through good practices. I would like to begin by discussing the progress on one of India's registered SDG Acceleration Actions. Yesterday, we presented India's second voluntary national review. Our VNR report titled Decade of Action, Taking SDGs from Global to Local, highlights not only our progress on the goals, but also captures the inclusive and participatory progress and the process followed in its preparation. We are aggressively expanding our renewable energy program and have set up ambitious targets. We have increased our renewable energy capacity by 75% since 2014 against our ambitious target to achieve 450 gigawatt by 2030. We have made the global pledge as part of our nationally determined contributions to have 40% of cumulative electric power installed capacity from non-fossil fuel sources. We have been consistently and rapidly improving our business and investment ecosystem. In the Global Ease of Doing Business rankings, India has jumped 79 places in the past 5 years, from 142 in 2014 to 62 in 2019. Our structural reforms in taxation, FDI regime, and insolvency and bankruptcy have contributed to this improvement. No other large country in the world has been able to make such a notable jump. 21st century challenges need 21st century solutions. The role of innovation is critical in designing solutions for SDG acceleration and building back better. Today, India is the third largest startup ecosystem in the world with the third largest number of unicorns. We firmly believe that these disruptions in the innovation and entrepreneurial ecosystem will accelerate our pace of achieving the SDGs. Madam President, today India runs the world's largest health insurance scheme. Our Ayushman Bharat covers 500 million persons who form the bottom 40% of our population. In April this year, we developed the mobile app Arogya Setu for the fight against pandemic through contact tracing, which was downloaded over 140 million times in the first couple of weeks. The COVID-19 pandemic has also made us realize the power of collectivized problem solving. Invigorated and renewed synergy between the government and the private sector has resulted in over 400,000 PPEs and 220,000 N95 masks being manufactured in India every day. In February this year, we were producing none, absolutely zero. This aligns closely with our flagship Make in India approach, through which we aim to become a globally competitive manufacturing hub. Our aspirational district programs aims at accelerating transformative socio-economic improvement in 112 backward districts of the country with relatively greater development challenges. We don't call them backward, we call them aspirational district. by improving the lives of over 165 million citizens in these districts in terms of health, education, basic infrastructure, agriculture and water, and financial inclusion and skill development. The initiative highlights the efficacy of the cooperative and competitive federalism approach to development. Sharing SDG acceleration actions and successes will be incomplete without discussing SDG localization in India. Fostering subnational peer learning and competitiveness is the approach we took when we released the world's first government-led subnational SDG index in 2018. The SDG India Index and Dashboard, which annually ranks our states based on the SDG performance, has reshaped the SDG framework adoption and localization discourse in the country. It has resulted in subnational entities instituting monitoring systems and preparing development strategies aligned to the goals of 2030 agenda, which are customized to the local and hyperlocal context. In terms of utilizing fast-paced technological disruptions, I cannot emphasize enough on the importance of having an integrated approach towards problem solving in public policy. We did not address financial inclusion by looking at bank accounts in isolation. An ecosystem built around the convergence of 385 million new bank accounts, 1.2 billion unique identity of Aadhaar and mobile telephony has been key to this success. Madam President, before I conclude, I take this with profound gratitude and deep appreciation for the frontline workers, doctors, nurses and scientists across the world. I thank them they've been risking their lives to keep us all safe. When challenges are dynamic and unprecedented, peer learning and knowledge exchange are of utmost significance. We are deeply committed to foster the spirit and accelerate progress on the SDG targets by not only focusing on the recovery, but by building back better for long-term transformation. Thank you, Madam President.